She was broke with just $10 in her worn-out purse. A girl who had seen more struggles in her young life than most people face in a lifetime. The city around her was always buzzing with energy, filled with skyscrapers, expensive restaurants, fast cars, and wealthy people who never looked twice at someone like her. She walked past them every day, clutching her old bag as if it carried all the strength she had left. She never expected her life to change. But fate has its own mysterious way of writing stories that no one could predict. Asterisk, he was a single father and a CEO of one of the biggest companies in the city. People only saw his sharp suits, luxury cars, and the empire he had built. But very few knew about his struggles. His wife had left years ago, leaving him with their little daughter. He raised her alone, juggling board meetings and bedtime stories, signing billion-dollar contracts, and yet learning how to braid his daughter's hair. For him, love had become something he no longer believed in. He had money, power, and respect, but his heart was quietly empty. Until the day he met her. Asterisk, their worlds collided in the most unexpected way. She had gone into a coffee shop one rainy afternoon, her $10 bill almost trembling in her hand. She was hungry, tired, and unsure how she would survive the next day. The coffee shop smelled of warmth and comfort, but she felt like an outsider as she walked in with her old jacket and shoes that had seen better days. She ordered the cheapest coffee on the menu, praying silently that it would not cost more than what she had. She sat in the corner, trying to avoid the stares of people who noticed how different she looked from the rest of the crowd. Asterisk, that was when he walked in, his little daughter holding his hand. His presence immediately commanded attention, not because he wanted it, but because he carried himself with the quiet confidence of a man who had built everything from nothing. He noticed her the moment he stepped inside. Something about her eyes, tired yet filled with silent determination, caught his attention. His daughter, cheerful and full of life, let go of his hand and ran towards the counter. In that moment, the woman in the corner looked up, and their eyes met. Asterisk, for a few seconds, it felt like time slowed down. He saw not just a girl struggling to survive, but someone with a story untold. Someone who had not given up despite the weight of the world on her shoulders. She quickly looked away, embarrassed, thinking someone like him would never notice someone like her. She had no idea that this single glance would be the beginning of a story that would change both their lives forever. Asterisk, his daughter tugged on his sleeve, asking if they could sit near the woman. He smiled and agreed, surprising even himself. They sat at the table beside hers, and soon his daughter started a conversation. Children have a way of breaking barriers adults never dare to. She asked the woman what her name was, and with a shy smile, she answered. Her voice was soft, but it carried a kind of honesty that made him want to hear more. Asterisk, as they spoke, he learned little pieces of her story. She had moved to the city with dreams bigger than her pocket could carry. Life had been cruel, jobs didn't last. Bills piled up, and friends disappeared when she had nothing left to give. Yet, she was still standing, still hoping for a chance. He admired her strength more than he admired the wealthiest people in his business circle. Asterisk. What began as a simple conversation over coffee turned into something much deeper. He offered to walk her home that evening, and she hesitated. In her mind, she didn't belong in his world. But he insisted gently, saying it was too late and unsafe for her to go alone. As they walked through the rain-soaked streets, they talked about life, about struggles, about dreams that felt too far away. He told her about being a single father, about the nights when he doubted himself, and about the loneliness that money could never cure. She listened, not with pity, but with genuine understanding. That was something he had not felt in years. Asterisk, days turned into weeks, and they began meeting more often, sometimes by chance, sometimes by intention. He would invite her and his daughter for simple outings, walks in the park, small dinners, or just evenings spent talking. For the first time, he wasn't the powerful CEO. He was simply a father, and with her, he felt like a man rediscovering what it meant to live. His daughter adored her, often asking when they would see her again. The bond was growing stronger, though neither of them dared to name it. Asterisk, but life is never without challenges. Rumors began to spread. People questioned why a successful CEO was seen with a woman who had nothing. Some called her a gold digger. Others whispered that she was after his wealth. She heard these things and felt torn apart. She didn't want to be the reason people looked at him differently. She decided to distance herself, believing it was better for him if she disappeared from his life. Asterisk, when she stopped answering his calls, his heart sank. He had lost so much in his life already, and the thought of losing her too was unbearable. One evening, he found her working at a small diner, wearing a tired smile as she served tables. He walked in, ignoring the stares, and went straight to her. She tried to avoid him, her eyes filling with tears, but he wouldn't let her run away. In front of everyone, he told her the truth that he didn't care about what people said, that he admired her strength, her honesty, her ability to stand tall even when the world tried to break her. Asterisk. It was in that moment she realized that love isn't about money, status, or what others think. It's about two souls recognizing each other in the middle of chaos. They chose each other, despite the differences, despite the judgments. His daughter hugged her tightly, as if sealing the bond between them forever. Asterisk, from then on, their lives were no longer separate. She became not just a part of his world, but the missing piece that completed it. With him, she found a love that valued her for who she truly was, not for what she had. With her, he found a partner who understood his heart in ways no one else ever had. Together, they built a new story, one where $10 and an unexpected coffee shop encounter turned into a lifetime of love, trust, and family. Asterisk, sometimes life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. She walked into that coffee shop thinking her last $10 would only buy her a small cup of warmth. What she didn't know was that it would also buy her the beginning of a love story that would change everything. And he, a single father who thought love was no longer meant for him, discovered that sometimes the most precious things in life aren't the ones we build with money, but the ones we find by chance in the most ordinary places, with the most extraordinary people. Asterisk, their story became a reminder that no matter how broken, poor, or hopeless life may seem, love has the power to transform everything, even in a world that often values wealth over heart. Their love proved that true happiness is found not in what we own, but in who we share our life with. And so, the girl with just $10 and the single father CEO who thought his heart was closed forever found in each other the kind of love that makes life worth living. The kind of love that people dream about but rarely find.